Nathan Crane is a spiritual teacher, speaker, and filmmaker who's spent years exploring what it actually means to come back into balance, mentally, emotionally, physically, in a world that keeps pulling us further away from ourselves. But this conversation isn't about perfection or quick fixes or even healing in the way people usually talk about it. It's about what happens when awareness starts to change you, when discipline starts to feel like surrender, when growth doesn't feel like growth at all. We talk about identity, overstimulation, emotional safety, and the hidden cost of becoming more conscious in a world that rewards distraction.
To me, everything's kind of wellness at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I love swimming in the waves just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
I just go to the ocean and just swim in the waves like a little kid, just splash and ride the waves. I don't do it because I think that this is making me healthier, but I know that it is keeping me healthy. So it's not intentional wellness, I guess. It's just like the joy of living, swimming, enjoying the ocean, but it is still wellness. Weirdly into it's not wellness.
It's kind of a hard one because like you're saying with the ocean, once you've surrounded your entire life, like trying to make yourself better mentally, physically, emotionally, it's like fun. It turns into fun. Just like going to the gym, I feel like it's like people hate going to the gym, but then there's a reason why people love going to the gym is because they actually fall in love with it. So,
It makes you feel good.
yeah.
The more that you do the things that actually make you feel good, that are actually good for you, that are actually healthy, that bring you joy, the less they become like a chore and the less difficult they are and the less you have to plan and prep for them and the more you start to build your life around them. It's like for me going to the ocean and just walking on the beach or going swimming or taking a boogie board and riding the waves, just having fun. Initially, over the years, I think I had to plan and prep and make time to go spend time in nature. Eventually, there's something that shifts inside of you or shifted inside of me that was like, this is life. This is part of my life. This is so essential. Spending time in nature is not something I have to plan and prep for. It's just I have to do it because it's part of who I am. And that's true actually for health in general. The healthier you eat, the more time you spend eating home cooked food, the more time you spend meditating, doing yoga, doing breath work, and you just realize how good you feel and how much better your body feels and how much happier you are. These things aren't something that you have to like fight to do anymore. In the beginning, they can be that way. When I learned sky breath, that day, it was a 3-day workshop. I went up to Boone to the Art of Living Retreat Center. 3-day workshop. And the first day you learn how to do it. You do the Sudarshan Kriya. It's very, very powerful, deep breathing, meditative experience. Second day, do it again. Third day, you learn the home practice. From that moment forward, I've never missed a day. So the habit literally took the first day. That was it. People say it can take 3 weeks to start a new habit. It can take 2 months. It can take 3 months. It can take 7 days. It's different for everybody and every habit and every situation. The key is the mind. When I did that practice, I knew and I set in my mind, this is something I will do every day. And the moment I said that, it was set in stone. And I even made a rule for myself that I don't eat or drink anything until I do my morning breathing and meditation practice.
I do that for my vitamins.
There you go. It works, right?
Yes.
It helps.
It
These
does
little
help.
rules can really help
Yeah.
because I travel a lot. I'm on the road a lot. My schedule's crazy. I'll be flying sometimes for 2 days straight. So even on the plane, when they're bringing me my breakfast meal and I don't even know what hour it is or how many times I've been flying, I'll sit there and I'm like, okay, I know the meal is coming up soon. I think it's pretty much like the next day now. So it would be like my next morning. So then I do my practice right there, do my breathing, my meditation, because you set these rules for yourself for your own good, for the own betterment of your life. Now, with something like sky breath, it was not difficult to make that a daily habit because I feel so good every time I do it. And my day goes so well in doing it. Like I have more energy, more clarity. And the deeper and deeper I get into those meditative states, I'm just in bliss and ecstasy. And then insights come and intuition comes. And it's like purifying and cleansing the mind and the body. So when you're feeling so good doing something and it improves your life time and time again, it's not difficult to keep doing it. A man had done his own kind of studies of where he would get in the ice bath and then work out after
Mhm.
and saw significant testosterone increase. I did it for about 2 or 3 months testing my testosterone and saw my testosterone grow up as well. So there's some anecdotes of that. There weren't like a lot of studies. Now, for women, because women's hormone systems are completely different than men, also the nervous system is in like sympathetic overdrive for so many millions and millions and millions of men and women that doing something like that extreme of an ice bath on a regular basis is probably too taxing for most people's nervous systems today. People don't need more stimulation. People are overstimulated, right?
Mhm.
Too much social media, traffic, jobs that they're not happy with, the intensity and working out intensely. And what most of us actually need, and I'm saying most, is more calming of the nervous system, more activation of the vagus nerve, more vagal toning, more parasympathetic activation, more things and practices that actually calm you down and make you feel more relaxed. Now, that's not to say that stimulating your sympathetic nervous system is bad, because it's not bad when it's done in the right dose and the right time. For example, a little bit of high intensity exercise can be really good for you, or a little bit of ice bath or sauna. These things are called hormetic stressors. Right? These stressors create hormesis in the body, which creates some sympathetic, which is like a little bit of fight or flight. You get some adrenaline, some norepinephrine, and then from there you get a cortisol release. And in low doses, in minimal amounts of time, then it actually strengthens your nervous system and can make your nervous system more flexible. And see, what we need is more of a flexible nervous system. The problem is most people's nervous systems are actually in fight, flight, or freeze at a chronic low grade level, basically most days of their entire life. So like saunas, same thing, can be great hormetic stressors, detoxifiers, get heavy metals out of the body, can create mental clarity, good hormone kind of transaction that happens within the body. And just like anything, you can overdo it with sauna.
Mhm.
So now you're doing 25 minutes every day at 170 degrees, and your nervous system's already taxed from being stressed out all day long. Like, that's not gonna help you. In fact, it may cause more harm than good. Telling somebody who's very stressed out to go into an hour-long, high-intense CrossFit class
Mhm.
is probably not the best thing for most people. And this is coming from someone who spent 7 years dedicating his life to CrossFit and
Mhm.
loved it, but also completely destroyed my body, tore up my body, and didn't meet a single person in any gym, any class, anywhere I went, who didn't have one or more chronic, injurious situations going on inside their body. Things that wouldn't heal, continued to get injured, wouldn't get better. Because why? You're not giving your body enough rest to actually heal itself. And so what I do, I had 5 tears in this shoulder.
Mhm.
I mean, wasn't 5 total tears. It's like I had bursitis, tendonitis. I had, I think, 2 tendon tears. I had labrum tear, and I couldn't move this arm higher than this.
Mm.
And
It's
it
on the
was
road to a shoulder
so much
replacement.
pain. It was, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely going to need a shoulder replacement. And now it's like I have
Yeah.
full range, no pain. Why? Because I actually gave my body a chance to rest. I started doing yoga and gentle practices and a lot more breath work, a lot more meditation. And then my body, the body is so smart. It knows what to do when you give it the right conditions.
Mhm.
And she tells me she's living with level 7 out of 10 chronic anxiety every day.
That sounds about right, though. I feel like the majority of the happiest people are actually, because if they can't feel happy or if they can't feel calm and they have all this anxiety or depression, they're gonna try their best to make others not feel like that. And it comes from a good place, but it's actually really sad if you think about it, like, that those people are probably like, I think of Robin Williams a lot,
Yeah.
like, how many
Yeah.
smiles he got from people, how many laughs he got from people, and, his situation, how things ended, terrible, and nobody it was like a huge shock to the world because it's
Right.
like, how does that happen?
One that I have, I feel a strong responsibility for, that brings me a lot of joy and keeps me up at times, like concerned,
Mhm.
is father.
Mhm.
Being a father, I have a 15-year-old daughter and 10-year-old son. And so ever since my daughter was born, I've had a very strong commitment of like being a great father.
Mhm.
And now she's a teenager, Snapchat, tire
Instagram.
screw, Instagram, she's driving me around.
Mhm. But you get to film more content when she's driving. So,
And I'm divorced now.
yep.
It's been a year. And one of the biggest challenges for me during that whole situation, as it became really clear to me that that relationship needed to end, was what kind of father is that going to make me?
Mm.
Because I had two big identities I was very attached to: being a great husband and a great father. And a great husband doesn't leave his wife. Great father doesn't separate the family for the kids.
Mhm.
And on one hand, that helped me accomplish a lot of things for my family and be there and be present, not all the time, but as much as I could, while providing, supporting,
Mhm.
running companies, paying the bills, all that stuff. And on the other hand, it also kept me in pretty dysfunctional relationship for probably longer than had I not had those identities so strongly. So I'm not saying it's good or bad, right or wrong. Like, everything was meant to be. But I still have an identity around being a great father. It's just not as much. I have less attachment to
Mhm.
that outcome now, and so much more peace and ease and acceptance of, they have their own lessons to go through. They have their karma to go through. They have their life experiences to go through. And whatever's going to happen to them and for them, it's going to be for their highest good. And
Mhm.
all I can do is show up, be present, support, and do the best I can. And at the end of the day, I have to let it go. And on the other hand, there can be a sense of unfulfillment
Mhm.
from that, because you don't get fulfillment from being famous or being successful or impacting millions of people. There's no like lasting fulfillment from that. And underneath that, I discovered a couple things. Like, from my childhood, from being bullied at times or being considered kind of stupid, or like when I was young, oh, in school, if I would ask questions or I wanted to go deeper or question the teachers, like, oh no, you're just you're a dumb kid. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was a class clown and acting out because I had issues at home and family issues, and then my parents divorced when I was 12, and then I was experimenting with drugs and alcohol and going through all of that inside, all my emotions just stuffed away and tucked them inside, and was told, don't show your emotions, or men don't cry, all those kinds of false beliefs that we get put into us. And that eventually led me to seeking knowledge and wisdom for significance. And so, reading hundreds of books, interviewing hundreds of experts and doctors, reading hundreds of studies, spending thousands of hours in health and wellness and spirituality and all these things that I got interested in as I changed my life. And under that was like this drive of wanting significance, wanting to try to fill that void from that childhood. I had no idea this was all subconscious. I just figured this out recently.
Mhm.
But it was driving me to basically try to compensate for being told I was dumb or treated I was dumb or whatever. So we all have these things in our life. We all have these emotional wounds or limiting beliefs or things that we were told or led us to believe that cause us to take actions in our life, and very often for decades and decades. Underneath, it's like we're looking for love or acceptance or some sense of contentment. And so we just keep doing, and behaving in the ways that we're behaving. But you'll never find it in that until you heal that and then realize, I accept myself as I am. Whether people accept me or not, or think I'm dumb or not, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And that, consciously, I think people get that. But again, all this stuff's at the subconscious. So the only way to really discover that from what I found is like we have to heal the subconscious. We have to heal the childhood wounds and the traumas. We have to bring awareness to it and then transform it. And as that happens, then you have so much more freedom in your life, more joy, more just opportunity to be yourself. And I'm going to give you an example. Like, I never would have done this years ago. I'm listening. Oh, I would say one thing that I do that's probably weird for a lot of people. I guess it's not wellness, but it's spiritual, is chanting. Chanting
Mm.
Sanskrit chants and chants from India. I love chanting. I love kirtan. I love listening to it, and I love chanting. You hear me
Mm-hmm.
walking around the office or whatever, I'm chanting Om Namah Shivaya. I chant every morning, and I love it. It's so powerful. It's so healing. And last night at the airport, or 2 nights ago, when you guys came pick me up, it was like midnight, and I've got some Krishna Das music chant going on in my headphones, and I'm there with my backpack, by myself. I don't know, there's probably like 50 people waiting around to get all their luggage. I'm just like full on like dancing, just like
Wow.
dancing and chanting, just like in the middle of the
I'm
airport at
imagining
like
that.
midnight. And I mean, even a couple of years ago, I would have been too they think I'm a weirdo or whatever. It's like, no way, man. I'm here to live life, have fun, be free. And I didn't even like a couple little thoughts here and there is like, oh, I probably think I'm crazy, but that's cool. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's a core in a lot of the clients that I work with. Underneath whatever the patterns are showing up is, well, if I'm not accepted, then I'll be alone. If I'm alone, I'm not loved, right? And if I'm not loved, that means I'm nothing. I'm worthless. Nobody cares about me. And so these are ideas that our younger self took on, right? Took on because of what happened. You were at school when you were 5 years old, and some kid laughed at you for dressing the way you wanted to, or someone made fun of you, and then now your 5-year-old nervous system and belief system takes that on and goes, well, I can't behave the way I want to, so I need to put a mask on, right?
Mhm.
You have already, I'm sure. There's
Mhm.
certain things you're like, oh yeah, I do that, or I've done that, or that makes sense, right? Or there's a feeling that's like, oh yeah. So it's just a feeling. It's just a recognition. It's just your own acknowledgement within yourself.
And it's so normalized too. Like, oh, you don't dance in the airport. Nobody's doing it except that weirdo over there. Like, why would I?
How do you know these different emotional wounds and beliefs? Actually, most of my clients who work with me through the Awaken process don't know what their wounds are until we start doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
And then it appears underneath, because how it shows up in your life is a symptom.
Mm-hmm.
The root, so like what we see on the tree, you see the fruits of the tree as the symptom, as the expression, as the result. But underneath, what you don't see is the roots that are under the ground. And so in your life, when it looks like fear of being judged, so you don't say what you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another great indicator. Any kind of addiction. All addictions come from emotional wounds, childhood traumas. All addictions. Addiction to drugs, alcohol, sex,
Nicotine.
gambling, nicotine, all addictions. Any addiction that you have, there is some underlying emotional root cause. And it doesn't have to be a big trauma. Even sugar. People say, yeah, but sugar is so addictive. It's as addictive as cocaine. Yeah, but if you know that and you still can't stop eating lots of processed sugar every day, then there's a deeper underlying emotional root cause
It's like
that's
you're okay with hurting yourself
100%.
almost.
That's
Yeah.
a beautiful way to put it. And as I healed more of my childhood traumas and emotional wounds, the addictions started going away on their own. This is how you know you do deep emotional healing work, and all of a sudden, things that you were doing that were causing harm to yourself, like eating excess processed sugar every day, smoking, using tobacco, drugs, And when I say sex, I'm not saying sex is bad, but like people who crave sex constantly that's kind of meaningless and are just constantly going to try and feel something up within themselves. It really doesn't. We were talking about something, and I said, oh, let me look this up and check, because we were trying to figure out something and nobody knew the answer, and we wanted to know. I can't remember what it was. I was like, all right, I'll check real quick. And so the moment I did it, it gave both of them permission. I don't know if you saw, they both pulled their phones out,
That is what happens.
and I noticed it, and I was like, oh, interesting. So they're both on their phones, and then I looked over, and one of them, I didn't see the other one, but one of them was actually scrolling on Instagram. It's
Yeah, it
like
is like
that, it was like
permission.
that
Yeah.
quick. That's how addicted we
And then
are.
everybody's on their phone now, and then you
Oh,
don't
and
wanna
there's
be
and there's no
I'll put
and there's no judgment. First of all, let's just classify addiction. So addiction is anything that you have a hard time stopping, even when you want to. That's like a continuous habit that is causing some form of harm to you. Can be very subtle or can be significant harm, but causing some form of harm to you. I used to have the same addiction, like where at the end of the night, before bed, everything's done. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna watch a couple shows, whatever.
Mhm,
And I realized when I had that addiction and how limiting it was for me, and actually what it was doing to my system, my nervous system, my mind, my everything. It was not helping me at all in any way. And in fact, it's actually harming you because it messes up circadian rhythm. It brings impressions into your mind because most people are not watching like good, upbeat, spiritual shows at night. They're watching intense things or drama things or things
mhm,
that are just filling your mind with crap. First of all, destigmatizing addiction because it's in all of our lives in so many ways. But number two is then recognizing all these addictions have a deeper underlying emotional need. Every one of them.
mhm,
When I moved to this new place, I didn't even buy a TV. And I chose in the evenings instead of watching shows. And I actually, even when I had a TV, I stopped watching shows at night before I moved because I recognized that that was not helpful to me. And so I stopped. And then in the evenings, what I do? Well, I started meditating. I picked up a guitar. I started learning to play guitar.
mhm.
You have an extra hour, 2 hours. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is
Okay,
idiocy.
okay.
Ignorance is
I have
not
a question about that. So
ignorance is not bliss. Here's the thing. It is better to know and then to choose it consciously than it is to not know and choose it unconsciously.
mhm.
And if you're going to choose it, then choose it knowing what you're doing. And the more, because here's the key. Here's a secret. One of the biggest secrets to overcome any of these challenges in our life is to bring more awareness to the reality you're experiencing and don't deny it.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who smoke cigarettes. I'm a nicotine girl myself, so tell us, wise one.
So I'll just share with you something like I observe is what you just said. So there's an identity part of you that says, I'm a nicotine girl.
Mhm, I love it.
I'm a smoker. I'm a smoker, right? Like we have
Right.
it, we identify, we do something for so long that we identify with it. Like I was a smoker. Or and then someone says, if someone asks me, would you like a cigarette?
Mhm.
What would I say?
Absolutely not.
But, and then what else would I say with that?
But I used to smoke. Maybe, I don't know.
I'd say, no, thanks. I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker. I don't
I would say you're
smoke.
better than them. No,
No,
I'm kidding.
no, I don't smoke.
Yeah,
Right? It's like
'cause you're a non-smoker, that's the
that's the
identity.
identity.
Okay.
So the identity shifted from I'm a smoker and yes, I'll have a cigarette too.
Mhm.
I don't do that. I don't smoke.